So the line actually runs straight through the middle of that thing, and because of that little piece forward, if the live bait goes to swim back up the braid, it twists it and makes it hard. Come on. This lateral line fishing mission is yet again an easy one. The boys are close as to home in very familiar fishing grounds. But this time around, when Milan said to me that he just wanted to come back up here and do what we do, it's like, dude, can we just go somewhere a little bit different? Can we just do something a little bit different? If it wasn't for the lateral line, I'd happily just do the same thing over and over and over. It is a ton of fun, and I'm happy as just going through the process. But as a cameraman, editor / producer of a YouTube fishing channel, I just want to do something a little bit different each time. Now, myself and Milan only want to catch snapper and kingfish. That's what we love to do, and that's what we're going to continue to do because we love doing it. But again, just trying to do it a little bit differently. Now, the easiest way to make things a little bit more interesting is to fish different locations. So this time around, we are going to fish a couple of spots that we've never fished before. Yes, we're in the same area that we have fished a million times before, but we are on new ground. Not only are we fishing a new piece of water, but Milan's also going to try a new fishing style. Slide baiting is something that we have heard is very, very effective, and it's something that I've never done. I think Milan might have done it a couple of times before, but anyway, basically it is just casting a massive sinker as far as you can offshore and then attaching a live bait to the main rig after you've cast, and then letting that live bait work its way out to the sinker, and then just let the thing sit there and do nothing and hope that something eats it. And we have positioned ourselves right next to a river coming out of the hills, and right now it is whitebait season, so technically there should be whitebait trying to make their way up the rivers to spawn, and if that's happening, then the mighty kahawai will be trying to eat them, and if the mighty kahawai are here trying to eat them, then why wouldn't the mighty green machine be on their tail also? So yeah, that is the plan. Catch a live bait, put it on a slider rig, and then kick back. 2 days, gonna do an overnighter tonight in the campground, and 2 days of new spots, new fishing style. Should be good. And this episode of The Lateral Line is proudly brought to you by Suzuki Outboard Motors. Without Suzuki's support, myself and Milan would not be able to create The Lateral Line. Hey Milan.
Yeah.
Go Suzuki, man.
Style was pretty good too.
Style was pretty good too, yeah. Thank you, Daiwa.
Whitebait imitation.
Grim Reaper styles.
Yeah, super light. Brought the light set so I can get some distance with the little lures.
Good plan.
Have a few casts to see if there's any kahawai around. So you can cast them, they've got the big hard rubber ball on them,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they float. Luke got them for me.
Go Luke.
Moments like these, you need a Luke. Not a Minty.
Luke's got all the little gadgets, eh?
Oh, it's sharp. It's not like me to have a sharp knife.
Look out. I was just looking at Milan's little bait float, and it was under the water, and I was like, haven't you got a fish? And he's like, ooh, I got one. Oh, he got off. We'll get one though, eh?
Yeah, it's a good one. You're going to have to go lighter on the drag.
Pulled the hook out of it. It was definitely a yellow-eyed mullet too, eh?
Yeah.
Perfect little slide baiting bait, I reckon.
I thought I could drag him up the beach.
Just gonna rope him in, you reckon?
No, I ain't roping him in on those little hooks.
Nah, is a little hook all right? You might have straightened it.
Could have.
Milan's got one. God, it's a good bait.
Got him. In the bucket he goes.
You did it, Milan.
I did.
First piece of the puzzle.
There's definitely a channel out there, eh?
All right. Got a swinging action. Wow. Wow. That went a long way. Gives a look at that little gadget. Where's my focus? There it is. So now you just attach that onto the line.
Yeah. So your braid goes.
Is there a right way then? Could be a right way and a wrong way then.
It curls. I don't get that.
Boys might be on YouTube in a minute to figure out how these things work.
Got to go that way.
Something doesn't look right. The boys have a dilemma.
Well, if you go like that, like that, like that.
Have you figured it out?
That's a knot.
Maybe we should have did a little bit more investigating before we started this mission, thanks. Good old YouTube, eh? How to use a slider rig.
Very big.
Briggsy.
Is it Briggsy?
Yeah.
On slide boat, eh? Yeah.
Briggsy on a slide boat, mate.
Chris uses slide baiting technique for his sambos, which I've never seen before. What do you do? Get the heaviest gear you got. Dog bite. Yeah.
Now it took about 20 minutes to get our slider rig on, and we're not quite sure how we got it on, but it's on. So we're going to leave it on. It's going to be a beautiful live bait. Well, you already are.
Whoa! You just about got me.
Why is he sliding?
Now he's sliding.
Here he goes.
A bait has been slid. And he's swimming. I didn't film it very well. Well, the plan was once there was a live bait swimming, it was coffee time.
It's taken all of about 2 hours. Probably took 20 minutes to get the slider rig to go.
But there is a live bait in the water. And the boys are fishing. Coffee time.
Come on, I think we're on water rations. That was pretty good. What do you reckon, we carway or a kingfish first?
50 kgs of kingfish, man.
50 kgs. I was thinking like
Sure.
a good 15 kilo kingfish to start off the day.
I think the boys just got a bite. Well, Milan did. He just went, whoa, 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 and jumped up. There's no birds around. Bird didn't fly in the line. Whoa. Have you got a fish?
Yep.
But is it on the bottom?
Yep.
Free spool it so the fish pulls the sinker off. Holy crap, it worked, Milan. The things you find when you're fishing, eh? That's like a little genie.
Yep.
That could be a sign, Milan. Could be a sign of great things to come. But right now, the boys have got a snag and a fish. Ah! Stink one. Is that everything gone? Oh man, need to do this on sand, bro.
Yeah, we need a new spot.
Yeah, this spot's no good because it's just too rocky. Well, the boys' first attempt at slide baiting was somewhat of a success. We managed to catch a live bait and get the live bait out after a little bit of YouTube education. And yeah, it worked. Live bait got eaten, but then just instantly snagged. And when I flew the drone up and down the beach here, there were like bucket-sized little boulders all over the place. And I think when you're fishing in amongst that with that big heavy sinker that we had, you're playing with fire. So yeah, the live bait got eaten, instantly snagged, and could do nothing but break the fish off. So with that, we have learned that we're going to go slide baiting where there is sand or very little foul, otherwise that big sinker is just going to ruin it for us. So right now the boys are packing up, going to go and try and find another spot, and we will give it a crack there. We will extract the positive things and try and learn from the negative ones, and we might just get this thing done yet. You wouldn't believe it. Milan caught a fish on the very first cast. I was up at... It's a perfect size too. They're on it straight away. Boom, got one. Wow. It's pretty good, Milan. Lots and lots of bait there. Live bait. Milan's about to set up another slider rig, but a slightly different setup. A solid ring, and then the sinker will be tied on with lighter line, so if it does get snagged up, it'll bust off. And we'll get to catch the fish that eats the livey, unlike last time. And while Milan's doing that, I'm going to put the drone up and go and see if there's any kingies hanging out there with all those kahawai, because there are heaps of them.
Nato goes, you're going to stick 2 baits out? And I was like, yeah. And it's like the best thing about this is you can stick 5 baits out because your live baits are managed, so it's awesome. I reckon I'm going to start doing this more often. And I haven't even caught a fish yet.
Whoa! I need to film the reel when you're doing one of the casts like that. Man, that went a long way. It's about the perfect size bait for this style of rig, I reckon, because it's not too big and too strong where it can pull you around, but it's too big a bait for a kahawai to eat. So you are targeting the mighty kingfish. The reverse of that.
Like that, and then over. Got it.
Got it? I just had the drone up. And just out here, there's a beautiful little rocky weed line which should harbour bait fish. And then just on the other side of that, there is all sand. And just like that, there's 2 live baits in the water. Was that a kingfish? Milan just hooked a kingy. I was too busy filming the other reel. And then he was winding the bait in, I think, and the kingfish ate it. Whoa, the line's screaming. Man, I'm too scared to move. All these rocks are green as.
That fish just came out of nowhere and wasted it.
It ate it right by your feet, eh?
Yeah.
Does that really count as a slide bait fish?
Yeah, I'm hooked on the bottom
Ah!
with my sinker. Whoa!
No, he's off. He's hooked right there. Are you hooked on your other line?
No, my sinker gets hooked up.
It's a kingy, Milan. I just seen it.
Obviously casted too far.
Well, he ate it right at your feet, eh? You started screaming. I looked up and there was this whitewater right like 3 meters in front of you. And I was like, what's going on? And then I seen you bow.
Okay, I've got to go out there and get him.
Was that because of the sinker?
I think so, bro. I think it's going to be a week.
Do you want me to hold? Getting his phone. I think Milan thinks he's about to get wet. This could get pretty entertaining. There's a big sinker trailing on the rig. This real bouldery bottom. Well, I don't know if technically that's a slide baiting caught kingfish, but we caught it on a slide bait rig.
Everything counts. That was the whole objective, so.
Yeah, did it.
Oh, pretty stoked with that, dude.
Yeah, man. Well, never fished here before.
First time slide baiting, you can't complain.
You'll get no complaints from the cameraman, mate. It's a fish. And it completes the story.
Oh, I thought that was a goner live bait in the weed, and I was pulling it in, and the sinker was, and then he just came out of nowhere, was going to bust the sinker off, and he ate.
That's epic.
I don't know if they're good rock boots.
Alrighty, mate. I got your photo.
Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool that a plan came together.
Yeah, bro. It's definitely lunchtime now, eh?
Once I get another live bait in the water. Woohoo! Nice, Mr. Kingfish. Go the kingfish, I say.
Nicely done, Milan.
That's funny.
The boys have picked up a few more tips. The breakaway, well, the sinker rig, Milan just had it at like 4 meters long, so it's just dropped down to like 1 meter. Dragging behind the fish probably isn't a good thing. I'm guessing most of the rigs must go all the way to the sinker, does it? But then if the bait goes all the way to the sinker, then you've got another problem to deal with.
I don't know, bro.
It's a bit of a learning curve, this one.
Nice. That's cast in half, NATO.
It's got Mootown bacon on it, man. Where's the bacon, man?
Well, I was in there and everyone was busy, so I just helped myself to the cabinet. It was easy and I couldn't find the right stickers, so I just stickered something on it.
Good on you, mate.
Why not?
Boys eating lunch and there's 2 rods out there with liveys on and you don't even have to like manage them. This slide baiting thing's pretty cool. Go, Milan.
Well, it's a bit of a late lunch, but it is lunch.
I ain't complaining. Go Milan, I say. That looks pretty good to me.
Then we can get back to fishing. Well, actually casting, doing something other than just sitting there with a couple of liveys in the water.
Isn't that fishing?
It is.
There's 2 rods. There's 2 live baits out there doing what good live baits do, and that is don't need attention. This whole slide baiting thing, you can even
Stick bait,
as well.
Oh. Don't have to do your live bait all the time.
I don't reckon today could have played out any better than it did. All I wanted out of this fishing trip was just to fish somewhere new, a new location, new scenery, something different, right? Then when Milan started talking about slide baiting and wanting to give slide baiting a go, now I got a new location and a new style of fishing. And it worked. Milan caught a kingfish. I don't know if you could say that he caught a kingfish slide baiting, considering he was winding the slide bait in and then the kingfish ate it at his feet. But we were slide baiting and we did catch a kingfish. So in my mind, that is success. We also had an awesome feed for lunch. Today is, as good as it could have been. Milan right now has 2 live baits on slide baiting rigs out there right now. Milan is talking about catching another live bait, putting it on a float and chucking that one out. But there's also a little bit of snapper fishing coming up as that sun goes down, and trying to get a decent snapper for dinner tonight. We do have 3 kahawai in the chili bin, and if there's no snapper tonight, then we're having kahawai, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'd love the snapper and use those kahawai as bait tomorrow morning to catch some snapper to take home. So if nothing else too exciting happens today, then you're probably watching the sun go down right now. The boys will not long after that be setting up a tent in the campground, going to sleep, waking up and doing it all again tomorrow. And I reckon tomorrow we're coming straight back here. I do have to admit to feeling a little bit silly, having driven past this spot so many times and looked at it to see a bunch of current charging past this little point here, and then this little creek running out, knowing that fishing around a creek mouth, especially this time of year when the whitebait are running, is a good place to go fishing. And we've just driven past it way too many times. But you live and learn, right? It's just how it goes. That's a good one, isn't it?
Beautiful cave wetter.
Oh, they're good at jumping.
Oh yeah, real good at jumping.
That's pretty cool, Milan.
Look at this. Look at the length. It'd be like 250 mil long.
Where the frig did you find that? He's pretty cool, man.
Look at this.
No complaints about the accommodation that we had last night. It's real good fun staying in the tent, camping, and just doing it rough for a night. Well, rough. It's not really rough. We've got a beautiful big mattress that we put in the tent. So anyway, had a good sleep. Milan made us coffee this morning, but we've skipped breakfast and made the short drive down the coast back to the spot that we left at sunset yesterday. And Milan has already put in a few casts, managed to land a live bait, and there is a live bait out there swimming under a float. But today, like yesterday, is all about giving slide baiting an honest crack. So Milan's going to do a little bit of stick baiting, he reckons, then going to set up a slide bait rig, catch another live bait, stick a slide bait out, and then we're just going to kick back. We have an incoming tide now. It's high tide today at about 11, and the forecast is saying that about that time, coinciding with the high tide, the wind's going to come up, which is pretty normal practice for this area. So we're going to fish right to the high tide, or fish right until that wind comes. Hope that we can hook into a big kingfish or anything that eats a slide bait. I'll be happy. We were talking yesterday, I was happy to see a big snapper on one of those little kahawais, or maybe even a big John Dory would be awesome. But either which way, it'll be fun. Pretty soon Milan will be cooking the boys bacon for breakfast apparently. Like yesterday, there is going to be no opportunities for time lapses, which is about the only thing negative that I can say for this entire trip, which is awesome.
I feel like I've got a big lump on it.
Oh, look at that. Milan took a spurl on the rock before. That's going to be a beauty, mate. Got one, Milan.
Okay.
Slide bait,
Slide bait.
slide bait, mate.
I don't know if they'd be that easy to catch if you didn't have a little grimming. Okay.
Slide bait cast. Whoa. You made that look effortless, Milan.
Thanks. So you go like that.
Go like that.
Grab the braid, pull it over, pop it on the middle.
Is that it?
Yep.
I told you everything's easy when you know how, eh?
It took us a while to learn that.
Yeah. Probably should have done a little bit more, what you might call it. So the line actually runs straight through the middle of that thing, and because of that little piece forward, if the live bait goes to swim back up the braid, it twists it and makes it hard. And then you literally just slide them on out. And then he even swims it out. You're going to try that jiggy? Yeah. I was just going to say, we watched some slide baiting videos last night on YouTube and they're talking about the jiggy rod action. Oh, live bait just got eaten. Live bait got eaten. The rod's going.
Okay, we need a better way of...
You need a much better way of doing that. Imagine if you were up at the car, that rod would have been gone, man. It's running and Milan's tangled up. Don't let him go too far.
Oh, the rod's all...
What's wrong?
The rod.
Oh, the blank twist.
Would you be able to bring in the sprat line?
Eh?
I've got him held now.
Yeah, I don't want to miss anything, man. What have you done?
He's going to go again. I've got this Kawai line out.
Ah.
I know the Kawai line's good.
Yeah, it's all there, isn't it?
I need a better rod holder, Nato.
You were lucky, bro. Ah! What did that break on?
So we're going to find out where our rig's got fails.
And you would have just caught a big
No,
kingfish.
He's gone in the weed, in the shit, but I should have had a trace on there.
Gutted.
Yeah, it's all serrated up.
Man, it's an effective way to fish, eh?
Not my morning. Well, it is my morning because I got a hook up, but falling over and hurting myself, and yeah, just got to get better at the slide baiting because that's a very, very good way to catch kingfish. Beating up my Saltiga today.
Milan's beaten up. Saltiga's beaten up.
Legs busted off.
Smoked by a big fish.
Funny how just a fish can make you feel so demoted. breaks your spirit as a human.
Doesn't help when NATO just sticks the boot in as well, eh? Whoa! Why didn't you rig your rod properly this morning, man? Wouldn't have made a difference though, eh? That braid was chafed up hard.
Well, I think it's trying to learn how to...
It's the
learning process. It just sucks that you're losing fish in the process.
new rig. Just got cast. I think Milan's going to be stacking his rocks a little bit better this time. Milan's glued to his rod tip.
You can't think you're going to get a bite, but maybe it's just going to go back to normal fishing now.
Milan's a little bit defeated.
Got my arse handed today, I can tell you that.
It was pretty entertaining.
For you. And all you at home, but not me.
All things considered, that was a successful mission, considering that we fished a spot we'd never fished before and fished a whole new style of fishing or a different rig, and we caught a fish. Yes, there were some lessons learned and a couple of really hard lessons, but I find myself having the most fun when we are failing and learning, and that trip was really good fun. So church, my brothers and sisters. Thank you all so very, very much for watching the Lateral Line. If you weren't watching the Lateral Line, we wouldn't be fishing new spots and trying out new things. And once again, that was a ton of fun. Now, a quick update from Sam at Hybrid Street on our Toyota Land Cruiser 105 series. It is right now in what Sam calls a tear down process. So they're just stripping the vehicle, getting it down to a point where they can laser measure the chassis and everything else to make sure this thing is going to be square, and then the Toyota is going to be ready to start the rebuild process. Now, Sam and the boys at Hybrid Street have an open day up there in their new building on the 28th of October. Milan is heading up there for the day, so if you are in that vicinity, call in there and say hello. I am going to be at the Seeker Show on the 28th and the 29th of October in Hamilton. I'm going to be hanging out with my good friend Simon Bullivant on his taxidermy stand. And if you are at the Seeker Show, please come and say hello. And I would love to talk all things hunting and fishing with you. So up next is Milan's house build video. And other than that, see you all again very soon. Oh, no, hang on. One more little thing. Check this out. Coming very soon to an online store near you.
With the end of the build fully in sight, the weather is great, the building work is done, and the sun stays out and shines. What a journey it has been to design and help build my own home. I've had so much help along the way, and still the help just keeps on coming. Cam from Transformer is here getting the sand pad ready for the glass house, and yet again cleaning up the site to make the place look more respectable, and to get it ready for a heap of gravel to form the driveways. Cam has helped so much in getting the landscaping sorted and helping with heavy items needed to be moved around site. I can't thank the boys enough for all they have done. I don't think I would have ever got to the end without them all there. With most things completed on the inside, Andre is doing final beading around the soffits and just generally going over the exterior of the building, making sure everything is good and watertight. James is finishing up the bench tops in the pantry, and he's making it all look incredible. Just because it's the pantry, it doesn't mean it doesn't get attention. And James and Andre have made that theme through the whole house, not just the pantry. With the inside complete, it didn't take Andre long to head outside and start the last big job of the build. The glass house from Winter Gardens NZ had been ordered and was due in just over a week, and we had a big task ahead to dig out the foundation and get the boxing in to make sure we got a nice square footing. Next was a reinforcing for the concrete, another job that I had never done, but one that after a little bit of tuition from Andre, I was tying steel like a pro. It's funny, I thought it would be one of those horrible jobs, but it ended up being thoroughly enjoyable. Now everything is ready for Winter Gardens NZ. With jobs finishing up, Ron from Pyro Skip Bins turned up to collect the skip. After almost 16 months on site, she was good to go. One skip bin for an entire build. Now that's something I'm pretty proud of. Now I honestly thought the men would turn up with the high-ab and just lift a big piece of glasshouse into place over a steel frame, but anything but. They turned up with a giant jigsaw puzzle that no doubt they had built before, as all the pieces slotted into place like poetry in motion. What I thought was one day was going to end up being three, but 3 happy days as they went about their days getting everything into place. It was enjoyable watching the end piece go into place. While finding timber for the house, I found an old glass house, and that old glass house has been themed throughout the house. The plan was new on the outside and old on the inside, and the new glass house going on the end completed the dream. Having a green room on your house as a lounge was something I have always wanted, to add to a house, and finally the whole thing had fallen into place. With site empty of workers, it was just me, Alex and the kids. Everything slowed down and it was a surreal experience. Finally, almost everything was complete and it was time to live in this beautiful home. With sand coming into the house, it was time to lay pavers for the glass house. So we decided to use the leftover bricks from the house for the floor of the glass house. So let the process begin, laying brick after brick to make a grand floor. With only a few build videos to go, I kind of feel strange finishing up, but I would like to keep you posted with getting the orchard and veggie gardens charging and trying to live more off the land than the supermarket. So I'll keep these videos coming.
This episode of The Lateral Line is proudly brought to you by the Bowler Triangle, NATO's bow hunting YouTube channel. Without the Bowler Triangle, The Lateral Line would not exist.
Hey, you little buckers, what are you doing, man? God, Jesus, you're just gonna get shot, man. What are you doing, man?